Hello everybody and welcome to Developer Diary number 4 for the Vulcan Productions Manchester-Leeds route. Sorry that it's been so long, I think it's been about 5 months or something daft like that since my last actual diary, and I apologise for that. I know there's been a lot of people asking how we're getting on. Truth is, it's been pretty slow going. Myself, I've been working a lot for Just Trains in the last 3-4 months and just haven't had time to do a lot on it. Quite a bit's been done, generally speaking, but my side of it's been a bit slow. Callum's been busy working assets and stuff on the Manchester side, as and when he can, but we've both got full-time jobs in terms of how much we're working. I'm a contractor, as I said, for JT, and he's got his own job that he does. And as a result, this is as we've always intended it to be. It's just a hobby project that we're doing in the spare time. Um, so anyway, I want to give you a little bit of an update on how we're doing. There won't be any actual building in this diary because I haven't got time to do it right now. I plan to do that in the next week or two, and I will do an actual one where I'm building around the Wakefield area. But this is where we left off with developer diary number 3. This is Woodhusford Station in its more or less complete form. There's still some tidying up to be done in places, but generally speaking, this is the finished asset now at Woodhusford. Quite happy with what Callum's done here. He's done a decent job, I think, overall. So this, as I said, that's looking towards Wakefield from Woodhusford, and that's looking towards Leeds. Just to note that if you're wondering where the hell Woodhusford is and all that sort of thing, I would recommend that you check on the earlier developer diaries where I do describe the route in general a lot more. This one's just going to be giving you a bit of an update and showing you what we've been doing and what's been done since the last developer diary. So over here you got the cycle racks and stuff like that around Woodhusford Station. And generally speaking, I've done the scenery around the area. The terrain paint obviously isn't done yet, but generally speaking, scenery has been added in around the station, which it wasn't after, I believe, at the end of the last developer diary. We just had the station in, none of the town. So the town's out now in itself. All the things you would expect on the station are here from when I did the photo research earlier this year. So you've got stuff like date and plates. I think I've shown them before, but we've got those added on. This platform ends here. And the other platforms over here. Again, plenty of custom bits going on, such as the milepost and what else with signs, shelters. All specifically made. Got a bit of clutter down the side here. Car park absolutely rammed as it often is, even on any weekday really. Usually absolutely packed in there. So this is now heading away from Woodhusford towards Leeds. Leeds about 4 or 5 miles from Woodhusford. I haven't actually checked that, but I believe it's about 4 or 5 miles from Woodhusford to Leeds City Station. So as you're going along here, you've got some more houses as you're leaving the town. Or should I say village really. Got this little footbridge that comes over the top, which is where there's a footpath comes over, I believe. Comes from inside the housing estate. And as you head down here, you've got some farm buildings. Again, this is all still work in progress, so don't judge this as the final product. Some bits of it may well be the final product, but the overall route is still very much work in progress. Of course, terrain paint is not added in, as I said, for much to do. It's over there, so you look over there. That gives you an indication of what the whole thing will look like here when done, more or less. Obviously over there you got no terrain paint and stuff like that. Trying to keep it fairly basic away from the track. If you're not going to see it from the cab, you're not going to see much detail there, sort of thing, because if you're down here, you're not really going to be going like way up here. So it's just housing blocks placed over there generally. You got like a, oh yeah, that's the DTG GSMR monitor. We've got some of our graffiti on there that Callum's done. One of Callum's new cable boxes as well. Trying to mix in DTG foliage with a VP grass pack wherever possible. Going off what we see in cab rides. So we've got stuff like the flange lubricator and also expansion plates. More junction boxes, more graffiti on the junction boxes. That one is actually there in real life. Not the exact graffiti, but the graffiti on that one in real life. That's why it's got it. Little side lane down the side for no rail vehicles. And generally just trying to keep the variation on the foliage, so it's not just the VP grass pack. This grass here is still the original pack. We've got a new version of the grass pack to come that rotates itself, so it doesn't all move with the camera, and I'll show you that. So if you look at this, as you're moving around it, the whole thing moves with the camera, and that causes this effect when you look along it and it's all sort of in line. The update kind of fixes that a little bit. I know people with the VP grass packets like Marmite, but I quite like it personally. So long as you mix in DTG foliage, generally speaking, it looks a bit better. I think if you don't mix it in with stuff, it can look a bit flat. So stuff like Buddleia and Roseberry Willow and stuff like that. I've got the line side fencing in the background there, and this is the network access point here where they come through the gate, which has obviously been added in. So looking back along there, the reason that formation, by the way, is so wide is that's how it is in real life. I've gone off my cab rise, there's no foliage at all directly next to the track, it is all behind the cable troughs or the lane. It used to be a wider formation here, there used to be quite a few tracks, there were some sidings, and I think there was a corridor here. You can usually tell where there used to be corridors by the fact there's silver birch trees or just small trees in general. And I believe there used to be a corridor around this area. And generally speaking, a lot more sidings. So this is again heading around the curve now, not too far from Sturton, a couple of miles. And one of Callum's lofts there is a signal cable that we snake along. Again, that's taken from the cab ride, there's actually a signal cable that goes along on the floor there. Trying to keep the foliage as realistic as possible compared to the cab ride. That's just a test unit I've been using to drive along the route. Here there needs to be a custom tunnel for the motorway, so this is the M1 that crosses here. And then needs to be a custom tunnel to take it under. Looks like I've deleted some water there by accident. That's obviously not done that area. And now we are coming in towards Sturton a bit more. There's a little bit of a bug on the side here, I need to add a track in. Got the river on this side, down here. Two sets of cables, as per real life. This side in here is needing to be extended a bit longer down there. I did actually have it in at one point, I must have deleted it by accident. And this is now on the approach to Leeds Freightliner Terminal. Just trying to vary up the foliage as much as possible, trying to keep it so it's not all the same. Using 2 trees away from the track to help frame it, and also I think they just look generally better. About there is the limit of where I try and place them, although that is quite far for me. I sometimes go a lot closer than that with 3D trees. You can sort of see the transition there, trying to blend them in. So it blends from 2D to 3D. I don't like seeing 2D too close to the track, and then again I don't like seeing 3D too far from the track. So it's a case of trying to keep it so the foliage varies in height. I look realistic. A bit of a break in the cable trough there. Got cones. General clutter that we've added in. Such as this area, we've got stuff like graffiti on the wall. A little bridge underneath, you've got bits of clutter that Callum's made. Sort of laying about. Used to be another railway bridge here. And some more graffiti again from where that was. And some more custom assets down there as well that Callum's made. So Callum Green is the asset creator of these assets, as I said. Does quite a good job. Around here is where there's a network access point, but we also need a road tunnel under here, and that's why that's blank at the moment. Coming along here, this is the Sturton Cement Terminal on the right, and the work in progress Freightliner Terminal on the left. So this is Leeds Freightliner Terminal, where the Freightliner trains all load up. Try to add the containers in as much as possible. These ones here, the ones just waiting for loading onto trains. Got the stackers and stuff. Got various warehouses that are here in real life. I'm not sure if these sidings here, they're loco stabling ones, but they're in as well. And the cement terminal is a Kuju one at the moment, but it is on the list to eventually become a custom asset. And as you get along here, this is the current terminus of where I've been working. Because I'm waiting for quite a lot of custom assets around Midland Road and then into Leeds, there's not much point, generally speaking, in heading much further into Leeds right now. It'll get to the point where you need a custom asset every 5 yards, so there's just not much point in continuing that direction for now. So this is as far as it goes for now. And that's looking back towards Sturton. Leeds a couple of miles that way. You see the junctions and everything at Holbeck, and then Leeds Station over that way. So that concludes this bit that we've done here. And that's all been done in the last couple of months. Quite a bit of work that was done there, especially on Watersford where we had to put all the houses and stuff in. What I'll do now, show you what's done so far. So what's done so far is from just there at Midland Road essentially. If you want to wait for Kirkgate, that bit is done. I'm now working on this section. There's nothing worth showing there yet, but I am working on this section here towards Ely Mills at the moment. And my plan is to head on towards Ravensthorpe and then head back towards Leeds that way with the scenery gradually. It's going to be a long process. We're not in any rush with this route. We're not rushing it or anything like that. I want to do the best job we possibly can. Callum meanwhile has been working on Manchester area, and I'll show you a bit of what he's been doing now. He's been busy with various bits that he's been doing down there. Again, all Callum's stuff's all work in progress as well. Quite a lot of it's actually more work in progress than mine because he has been focusing a lot of his attention on custom assets. Of which there are well over 100, nearly 200 I think we've got on the list. And that doesn't include a lot of ones that we haven't actually listed. Which is just stuff that we find as we're going along, like, oh yeah, we'd like that. So this is Callum's work in progress section. Very, very much work in progress. You can tell that. He's put stuff in like foot crossings and stuff like that, as you can see here. This cutting, I like this cutting that he's put in with the rocks and everything and the pipe over the top. And this is down towards, I think it's around Greenfield area, Mossley. And the scenery sort of peters out here, and then you got, as I showed in the previous developer diary, around the area Mossley Station that is done. Some gaps in scenery around here as well, but he's done custom houses and walls and stuff like that to make it all. And this is Ardwick, I think. This is very basic. This is literally just putting the asset itself for the platforms. It's not done or anything like that. Scenery around it. Just done the texture work and the model. I like the textures that he's put on the footbridge and stuff like that. Give it that worn effect. Graffiti on the back. I believe this is mostly photo work as well that he actually did around the area, a lot of it. It's all empty under here because he hasn't done it yet, but that's how it's looking up on the top there. I think he's done a decent job so far. And this is Piccadilly, but this is not custom of ours, that's Liverpool to Manchester's Piccadilly. So heading across over towards Victoria, which is where we started to do a bit of work, leading out from Victoria. Stuff such as the half-built building that's currently there. It says keep out in the middle. Low detail obviously because it's so far from the track. So this is the area leading out of Manchester, very basic scenery so far. Stuff like custom viaducts, arches. Most of this is just placeholder for now whilst he's building assets and getting the odd bits in. It's a custom asset, I think, some of this here. This is heading away from Manchester Victoria up Miles Platinum Bank. Into the cutting. Again, more buildings that he's made himself. More graffiti. I like this sort of bit here that he's been working on. The feel of it's quite good. Obviously there's no wires or anything like that, but looking good what he's doing so far. He's done some little scenes here, such as this typical sort of council estate decrepit sort of look. Never seen that up there on the top of the buildings. Quite like this that Callum's done, the playground, swings and stuff. Where there used to be a bridge over the top. I like the texture that he's done where he's got the sort of warm bits and stuff like that. And it's heading up to the George Junction where we turn off to head towards Leeds. Some disused sidings on this side. This is where the junction is. So Newton Heath's up there, I believe. I think we are planning to add that in, but I'm not going to confirm that, but I think that is the plan. Signal cabling, laying about. More junctions. Some pretty complicated bits of junction as well here. Stuff like where the canal goes underneath and roads that go underneath. This is Phillips Park Junction here. Complete with its Phillips Park North Junction sign. He's done quite a bit down here. I didn't actually think he'd done this much. He's done the gas cylinder and he's also done this pipeline lot that goes along there. As you're heading out of Manchester now, back towards Stalybridge area. Bigleyfold Junction box. Goes to asset obviously. This is a signal box. Callum's foliage is very much obviously a work in progress as well, as I said. So it needs variation with the embankment bushes and stuff like that, and various bits added in. Obviously you can see here. It's just basic placement of assets at the moment that's going on. Level crossing is added in. And a pub. Nice big custom viaduct. It's looking good. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I wouldn't really call it a diary as much as an update, really. Just want to keep everyone in the picture of where we're going with this at the moment. Nothing's changed in terms of the circumstances of the project. It's very much an ongoing thing. As and when we've got time to do it. I will be doing another developer diary as soon as I've got time to actually show me doing some building as well, because I know people like to see the actual route being worked on. Maybe at some point Callum will do something similar, I'm not sure. Would like him to if he wants to. But yeah, this is sort of where we are at the moment. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe our videos, we really appreciate that. Your input does help. Any comments you've got, please mention those. Any questions you've got, feel free to ask, and if I know the answer I'll tell. Obviously we have no release dates or anything like that, I'm not even thinking of those. Initially we actually wanted to get this route done within a year or so, and that's not anywhere near. We're looking, I think we're probably looking way into the back end of next year at least with this one. We're not rushing it. It's as simple as that. And it's not a business model, it's not a business route either, it's it's a hobby project that we want to use just to make some cash for ourselves at some point in the future, and make some great content for TS in the process. Nothing's changed in the pricing front, that's already been discussed in previous editions of these developer diaries. So yeah, for any photo updates and stuff like that I'll be posting those on the Vulcan Productions Facebook page. And I do plan to set up a web page for this route at some point when I actually have time to do it. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the update there. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.